we're going to be talking about something that's not all that interesting, creating life in a test tube.
Today we found one blue colony, and we believe that this is our first synthetic cell. It's alive!
This is the first organism that doesn't have a genetic parent. The genetic parent is the computer. Now, this organism is very similar to an organism that's well-defined, that has been studied quite a bit in the laboratory. And this is the first step, because if you can create an organism that's well-defined, then you can use your knowledge to start thinking up new organisms that have not been defined, actually have never existed. Ultimately, there's no limit to the kind of life form you can create.
I think the headline, "Scientist Creates Life," is going to have a seismic impact on our culture. When you can sit there and say, I'm going to take base pairs of DNA and arrange them in some kind of a sequence that makes a bit of inorganic matter come alive, you're doing something that's unbelievably important in terms of our understanding that life boils down to biological processes, nothing magical, nothing ineffable, and something pretty scary.
Here we have a biological self-replicating organism whose parent was a computer file, an email attachment, if you will. And it's a document on a computer that we can edit just like any other document.
Start tinkering with the genetic code and bring back species that were gone. Maybe they were gone for a reason.
If we don't have the wisdom to extend beyond biology, we should have thought of that 1,000 years ago, because we've been doing this a long time. Not this particular step, but human life expectancy was 23 1,000 years ago. It was 37 200 years ago. You and I wouldn't be around if it hadn't been for this kind of advance going beyond the limitations of biology.
We knew this was going to be potentially powerful if we did it, and so we asked for ethical review before we actually did the first experiments back in the 1990s. And we've been trying to push the ethical discussion, the policy discussion, alongside of the scientific advances. So I think it's certainly one of the first times in science where that's happened, where those questions were asked first, not afterwards. The first thing people may see is next year's flu virus could come from this process. Because now instead of taking months to make something, we can make it in 24 hours. Look how much time it took to get the H1N1 vaccine out last year,
6 to 8
and a
months.
lot of people died because of that delay. So,
And how about reacting to emergencies like the oil spill in the Gulf? Could that potentially have helped?
we hope to go in the other way, like preventative medicine. If we can get us weaned off of oil by using these biological processes to capture carbon dioxide back and convert it to fuel, that gives us hope that there may not be the need for oil.